spring is here, which means one thing. My to-do list is full of cleaning tasks I will absolutely not be doing. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I went on CozyGamesDB and pulled together a list of games where cleaning is the whole point. Houses, nature, workplaces, and yes, a couple of scenes of ambiguous origin. From power washing and ocean cleanups to the more emotionally complicated kind of tidying, there is a lot here. The link to CozyGamesDB is in the comments if you want to browse more or track anything from today's list. Cleaning Up just launched, and it puts you in the role of a geek cleaning worker tackling some genuinely chaotic locations. Hoarded apartments, a haunted mansion, ancient temples. You have a full kit of vacuums, brushes, mops, and sprays, and you earn cash to upgrade them as you go. It's designed to be relaxing rather than challenging, and with those settings, I can already see myself losing a few hours in it. Clean It Up flips the premise slightly. Instead of going out on jobs, you run a cleaning store, taking in items, negotiating prices with customers, and trying to stay on top of your bills. There are mini games, speedrun challenges if you want a bit of pressure, and apparently some interesting characters to meet along the way. The business side adds just enough structure to keep things engaging. Island Saver is free to play, and it sends you out with a trash blaster to clear plastic waste from a string of islands and rescue the local wildlife. The creatures you save are called bankimals, which are exactly what they sound like, little animal piggy banks, and they are immediately aggressively charming. Jungles, Arctic regions, deserts, volcanoes, a lot of variety for a free game. Mess Quest is on the shorter side, around 3 to 5 hours across 6 levels, but it gets a lot of mileage out of that runtime. Each level drops you into the aftermath of a different wacky scenario, and your job is to mop, clean, and put things back together. Over 200 stainable objects to deal with. If you want something tight and a little experimental without a huge time commitment, this one delivers. Scrap Dudes caught my eye because the entire world is handmade, built from cardboard, fabric, and physical craft materials. Everything in it is covered in mud, gunk, and trash, and your team works to restore it. You switch between first person for cleaning and third person for climbing and gliding. The aesthetic is completely distinct, and the before and after payoff looks very satisfying. I put more hours into the first PowerWash simulator than I will ever admit out loud. The sequel brings a full new campaign set in Buckingham, with new locations, new tools like abseiling rigs and cherry pickers, updated soap mechanics, and a home base you can furnish with items you collect. Co-op is back, including split screen. They knew what people loved about the first game, and they built on it rather than fixing things that weren't broken. About those crime scenes I mentioned, the WereCleaner is a free stealth comedy game where you are Kyle, a janitor who is also a werewolf stuck on the night shift. The goal is to clean the office, avoid people, and ideally not make more messes than you started with. Your 3 cleaning tools do double duty when things go wrong. It is funny, it is weird, and it costs nothing, so there is generally no reason not to try it. Loddlenaut is one I keep coming back to recommending. You are an interstellar custodian sent to clean up a polluted ocean planet abandoned by a corporation. You collect debris, explore sunken ruins, and also look after axolotl-inspired creatures called Loddles. Different diets give them different traits and abilities. The cleanup and creature care mechanics fit together in a way that feels very natural, and the whole thing is one of the more peaceful games on this list. In Fresh Start Cleaning Simulator, you travel across different environments, restoring nature. You use a tool that combines a vacuum and a water hose to remove dirt, collect trash, and revive dried plants. As you clean, the world changes in real time. Colors return, plants regrow, and animals come back. There are also small objectives in each area, like solving simple puzzles or helping creatures, and you earn experience points that you spend on upgrades to improve your efficiency. House Flipper 2 is the biggest game on this list in terms of scope. It is a renovation simulator with a full story mode set in Pinnacove, a small coastal town, where you take on jobs, interact with NPCs, and build things from scratch in sandbox mode. Cleaning is very much part of the workflow before any renovation starts. Up to 4-player co-op is in. I played through a chunk of the story mode and it was more engaging than I expected. Clean Up Earth is the most ambitious premise here. You use a modular terra cleaner to remove waste across massive environments and watch them regenerate in real time. Plants growing back, wildlife returning, everything. It scales from solo to 8, player co-op to 2-5-player community sessions. They have also connected community cleanup activity to real microdonations to environmental organizations, which is a genuinely nice touch. A Storied Life, Tabitha just came out, and it is a different kind of clearing out. You inherit a relative's home and pack up their belongings while piecing together the story of their life through what you find. It is a narrative puzzle game with space-constrained packing and word puzzles built from the objects you collect. 17 hand-painted levels, multiple endings depending on your choices. It draws clear inspiration from unpacking, and if that game meant something to you, this one is worth your time. Undusted follows Adora, who returns home after her mother's death and begins restoring the household items left behind. Each object you clean surfaces a memory, slowly building out the relationship between them and where things went wrong. No timers, no fail states, pixel art, strong ASMR style sound design. The story is quiet, but it lands. If you have ever watched decluttering videos and thought it looked more satisfying than stressful, Cozy Organizer is basically that as a game. You are sorting, stacking, and arranging items across different spaces, pantries, closets, living rooms, unlocking new items through low-pressure tasks. Colorful, low stakes, and very satisfying in a specific, hard-to-explain way. Organized Inside leans further into the therapeutic end of things. Over 1,000 household items to categorize in your personal space, 5 character stories to uncover through the objects you place, and a cat guiding you through everything. No timers, no scoring, no pressure at all. The amount of content makes it genuinely absorbing once you settle in. Packing Life puts you in a warehouse, rotating and fitting varied shapes into boxes with limited space, like a puzzle with actual stakes. What makes it more than a spatial challenge is the story running through it, following a character building towards something better. The narrative gives the packing real weight, worth checking out if you like that puzzle simulation overlap. Suitcase Stories uses the same packing mechanic but applies it to an entire lifetime. You arrange objects from different life stages into suitcases across 7 chapters, childhood through adulthood. 26 suitcases, 250 illustrated objects, no failure states. Designed for a single sitting. It is a small thing, but a very well-made one. Spring Tales fits this video almost too neatly. A storm hits a town called Blossomdale, and you help its 5 residents clean up and get ready for the spring festival. Puzzles range from sorting and stacking to repairing electrical circuits. Hand-drawn visuals, a focus on community recovery, and a genuinely warm feeling throughout. A nice one to close out this first half of the list. Before the last few games, I want to flag that these ones don't have release dates yet. You can find all 3 on Cozy Games DB, link in the comments below, where you can wishlist them and keep track of them for when they eventually drop. Neat puts you in the role of Molly, a startup founder who helps overwhelmed clients get their spaces and lives back in order. You visit different people, sort through their clutter, and uncover their stories as you work. Curated soundtrack, solid accessibility options. The personal stories angle is what I'm most curious about. Clean Start follows Lena, an immigrant maid, as she cleans homes and pieces together the lives of the people she works for through the objects she finds. The story branches depending on what you discover, and outcomes change based on your choices. The premise feels more grounded than most games in this genre, and I think it has a lot of potential. I'm really excited about this one. Wildwoods sends you out as Pele, a creature on their first solo cleaning mission, onto a mysterious island where corruption has drained the color out of everything. You use a water gun with unlockable nozzles to restore the environment, along with platforming, creature interactions, and over 1,000 items to clean. This one looks absolutely delightful, and I am keeping a close eye on it. That's the full list. Whether this actually motivates you to do some spring cleaning or just gives you a very convincing reason to sit on the couch instead, I will leave that between you and your apartment. Which of these are you most likely to play first? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious to see what's landing on people's wish lists.